soon as I stop shaking, I'll begin, yeah? So, I want to talk about things that matter, probably predominantly to me, right? We all care. Some of the things that I'd like to talk about, elections. I've never voted. I'm 33 years old. I've never voted because I did not want to be part of a bigger problem. I couldn't stand to have done something that might make it worse. And so, I've never voted. I don't even know how. Which is really interesting because, you know, at this point, it's probably a good idea for every person on the planet who can vote to vote for Bernie. Because historically, billionaire megalomaniacs have not made good rulers. It's a fact. And a lot of the things that matter to me are based off of facts. So on from some of the comedy to something a little more difficult to talk about. I'm not a vegetarian, but actually I'm afraid to stand at the meat line at the Saturday market because I'm always watching my back like maybe one of the vegans are going to get me. And I have kids to feed, okay? Fruits and veggies are expensive, right? And they don't go a long way, but I am against factory farming, simply because it's cruel and you are what you eat. And if you've ever watched a documentary on what we do to our food before we eat it, like CAFOs and like industrial meat production, it's, if you have a soul, it is heartbreaking. And it is painful for me to accept that we live in a world where I may be in contact with people who could treat animals that way. And if you can treat an innocent animal that way, you could do almost anything to a person. Something a little more difficult. I like to do some progression, right? I don't want to break anyone right away. So here are some facts that I really care about. In 2001, Child Protective Services in Oregon failed a federal review of its foster care system in 11 of 14 areas crucial to child health, welfare, and safety. 11 of 14 areas. They were then immediately awarded $2.4 billion of federal funding to remove people's children. In order to get the funding, they have to remove people's children. And that makes it an industry. A for-profit child trafficking industry. This is something that I know more about than most people who will ever walk this earth because it has affected 28 years of my life on this planet. Anyway, so after prompting from people like me, claims of for-profit child trafficking were investigated. This is not very long ago, as early as 2009, 2010. It was discovered by a team which included the governor of Portland and various churches and volunteer organizations, that there is a direct link between for-profit child trafficking and the homeless and street trafficking epidemics across the nation. Our government is funding a system that is acknowledgeably broken and is decimating people's lives. So because I know this, it's very difficult for me to drive down the street and see homeless people. I see them, and I care so deeply. interrupting the show just for a minute because I'd like to finish what I had to say really quick. And what I had to say is, goes along with what everyone's saying here, which is that there's a lot of tension. Black lives, white lives, human lives. They don't matter at all unless unity matters. And together, we can make changes. Thank you.